Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be announcing my brand new LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean mock series here on my YouTube channel. So if you guys do not know, actually recently I just completed my Pirates of the Caribbean Black Pearl mock series here and my Shark Tooth Bay mock series here. If you guys have not seen this mock series, of course, by all means, go check it out. It's absolutely awesome. There's also a separate link just for my Black Pearl mock videos right here. And of course, the Dauntless, which of course is going to be returning very soon on my YouTube channel. But these are all the updates I've had for the Black Pearl. One of them is actually even at Brick World. So go check that out if you guys have not seen it. But yeah guys, in this mock series, I'm going to be building all three ships from the Pirates of the Caribbean. The Dauntless, of course, like you see here in this image, it is the largest naval vessel from the first Pirates of the Caribbean. It's absolutely amazing. I started building it not too long ago on my YouTube channel, and it's called the Dauntless mock series here. There's about 4 videos in this area here, so make sure you guys go check those out if you have not seen them. They are pretty old, but I'm going to be definitely revamping that mock series starting now. But I'm also going to be building the Interceptor from the first Pirates of the Caribbean as well. As you guys can tell, this is a much smaller vessel than perhaps the Dauntless, of course. But it is definitely a lighter vessel that's meant for speed and stuff like that. I'm even considering possibly building a small port royal. Like you see right here, guys, this is definitely kind of a really cool area that I remember from being in almost all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And one day I do want to build a port royal like you guys see here in the upper right. You can only see part of it in this image. But yeah, that is my goal, guys, to build all 3 of these ships. Of course, the Black Pearl's already built, though I do want to make some modifications to the back side of it. I do expect there to be probably about 1 to 2 of these updates per week for these videos. Do expect it to be a little bit more Dauntless heavy to start, as it is the largest vessel and stuff like that. And I absolutely cannot wait to get going on this mock series, guys. I've had a lot of weeks planned and stuff like that for it, and it's primarily going to be just those ships, of course, from the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, as making that many at one time would probably be almost like a disaster. I am genuinely like so excited to start this mock. I've been thinking about kind of revisiting the Dauntless for a while. I finally have all the parts I need to complete that ship for sure. Don't know about the Interceptor yet, but we will see. So you guys, without further ado, let's get into week number 1 of the Dauntless and Interceptor. By the way, this week is going to be together. There's going to be a much longer video with this intro and both weeks combined, because I'm doing a lot of the same work for them, so I felt like it was unnecessary to make 2 separate ones per them. So yeah guys, Interceptor, Dauntless, and the Black Pearl. Really, really awesome. I cannot wait to show you guys what I got so far, so let's get right into it. As I mentioned previously, guys, the Dauntless has been kind of out of commission for a long time. I did have a mock series for it. There actually are 3 to 4 updates on my YouTube channel about that. Please go check it out. There's a playlist called the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff and the Dauntless. Go check them out. They're definitely a little bit older. I didn't really take them as seriously as I do now for mock buildings like the Black Pearl. But yeah, guys, like I said, I'm going to be building the Interceptor on top of the Dauntless as well, so that's definitely really cool. So there's probably going to be 1 or 2 mock videos per week on this kind of stuff, which is definitely really awesome. Right now, they are a complete disaster. The Dauntless is not in the condition it was in the last video, so I definitely have a lot of organizing and work to do. I also wanted to kind of redesign things, because now I have all of the parts that I need to completely finish them, which is super awesome. Before, I didn't really have all the parts to finish it, but now I do. So I hope you guys are excited for this mock update video, stuff like that. Make sure you guys stay tuned for them. I'm going to try to release them, like I said, about once or twice a week. But without ado, guys, let's get into actual progress. Alright guys, I took some time to kind of reorganize some stuff, because a lot of my kind of Dauntless and Interceptor parts were really kind of unsorted. This bin is still kind of a disaster, but basically all of these parts are going to be used in that, or I should say in both of those mocks. The Dauntless is quite considerably larger than the Interceptor mold right here. You can tell there are only 3 of these kind of boat hull pieces for that. There's 2 more here on the side. And just to give you a quick comparison, guys, the Black Pearl has 3 of those boat hull pieces, and then has an additional, I believe, 12 studs in the back. So the Dauntless will be the bigger of the ship. This ship is also going to have an entirely slanted back like it is in the actual movies. One thing I'm going to take a lot of inspiration from is from my design that I did here on the Black Pearl, where this entire thing is kind of angled here with some sort of snot and sideways brick here. I definitely want to build a very similar cabin to that. This is also completely modular. That is definitely something I really want to take the time to make so that all the ships will have a fully pledged in interior, just like the Black Pearl, and the entire top deck can pop off, just like so on the Black Pearl here. There is the top deck of the Black Pearl. This area in the front here does come off. I do have to take off the sail to do that, but it is pretty easy. As you can tell, the interior is a little bit messy, I apologize. But that is what the interior looks like. There are all the cannon rows. There's a back area down here for storage. And then this entire cabin area kind of pops off here like that. You can tell there are some tiles there. This entire area just simply connects. And of course, this top area does kind of come apart there. It's kind of hard to just do with one hand here. But that is the general idea, guys. That's how I want to design these other ships. Very similar to the Black Pearl. I absolutely love the design that I used for the Pearl here. There are some customizations I'm going to have to do to this back just to make it look a lot less blocky and a lot more accurate. But now I'm going to put the Pearl back together and then get going on the Dauntless and Interceptor. Said, guys, having a completely modularized pirate ship is so easy to transport and undo. That literally took me maybe 15 seconds to do. I really want to take my time with these builds and design them in a very smart fashion so that it's just as easy as the Pearl. Now, I am going to be separating these mock series into two different ones on my YouTube channel, but I do believe that this week number one for both of them is going to be, if not the same, very similar. My main focus right now, though, is definitely going to be on the Dauntless, as it is the larger and probably the more parts intensive one, so definitely want to get this one right. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by kind of plating off some of these areas and getting ready for the build. Alright, hey guys, I kind of took a temporary pause from the time lapse because I had to kind of shore up some of the actual calculations of these ships. It's very difficult to work with this boat hull piece and all this other stuff and have it able to have cannons on all of these levels and stuff like that and be minifigure scale. Definitely took a long time to kind of calculate the exact height of the Pearl. I do want to have a pretty similar kind of scheme going on throughout these ships. And before I even show you any of the progress or tell you any of the plans, I just wanted to tell you guys that yes, these two mocks will be separate video uploads. The Interceptor, of course, is here. It's a lot smaller than the Dauntless, as it's supposed to be in kind of canon. And the Dauntless is going to be the biggest ship I have. It's going to be roughly like probably 6 to 8 more studs long than the Black Pearl. I should say bricks long. But they will be separate. Week 1 is together. I'm kind of announcing that these mocks are returning. Of course, the Interceptor is new. But I also had to do kind of a lot of the schematics, and once I get all that kind of stuff done, it's going to be pretty much easy sailing for me getting these built. I do expect each of these to take probably 4 to 5 uploads to kind of complete, maybe a little bit longer than that, I'm not really sure. They're going to be kind of chaotic. I'm going to try to get at least one of them per week out for a little while here in September into October of this year. But hopefully I'll be able to do this relatively quickly, so I'm going to show you guys some of the progress. So unlike the Black Pearl, I actually do not have any of these slope pieces like you see here. Of course, this boat hull piece goes up to, I believe, like 4 or 5 kind of bricks high. But I actually did have this kind of like slanted piece here that I used on both sides of that. That makes it look almost seamless in the Black Pearl. Here's a kind of close-up of that. That makes the boat hull look a lot more seamless. Unfortunately, those pieces are literally not made in this color. Which is, of course, this dark blue color here that I'm using, and of course this yellow. Of course, in a perfect world, I would absolutely love a boat hull that has the actual proper navy colors on all the sides. Unfortunately, that's just not a thing that LEGO has ever done or probably ever will do. So I'm working with what I got, and I think it's going to look great no matter what. So speaking of that, this is a very complicated design in it that this entire kind of structure here runs with a kind of stem piece in the middle of here. A lot of it's also brick, but that is just for extra support to kind of stabilize the structure because this is very weak by itself. Because if I can take this piece off here, this is what I'm using to kind of shore up that gap that you guys see right there. This is simply using a kind of, I don't know what this is called, but it's like a slanted brick here that you can attach to a snot brick with kind of tiles and plates there. And that perfectly sits there like so. It's actually pretty sturdy once things are on top of it. Of course, I do have to kind of shore up this design so it kind of stays put. Eventually, there's going to be, of course, plates sitting right over on top of it, so it'll be very level and very secure, hopefully, once it's done. The Dauntless is not an issue in the front. This is, of course, one of the main problems with the ships, is that the boat hull piece does not go all the way up to the height that I need it, so that the minifigures can stand pretty comfortably with about 2 to 3 clearance there. And as you guys can tell, I have started doing that on the ship as well. I'm actually missing one of these pieces here that I need to complete that. I will probably have to just find it in there. But definitely this was a little bit more challenging to do on the smaller ship here. I do want to have this all brown here. I may change that a little bit to kind of bleed it into it, but I think it's going to look a little more kind of complete if it's all together and stuff like that. Again, in a perfect world, I would love to do something different than this, but I think it actually looks pretty cool. If you guys actually go back and watch the first Pirates of the Caribbean, the opening scene actually does have, I believe, the Dauntless in it. It actually is pretty accurate to how it is, kind of weirdly enough. Definitely very complicated, like I said, and it took me a little while to configure things. Also figuring out how many plates I need to place down here and how many bricks I need to have high. So there's definitely a lot of stuff I still have to do, so I'm going to get going on the second part of this, and then we're going to close out this video. Alright guys, I wanted to give you a quick little kind of check-in here. So I have kind of shored up the design for this front section here. As you guys can tell, it's pretty much all done here with the kind of exterior. It all looks pretty great. I'm pretty pleased with how that looks. I also came up with a kind of new design I'm going to be using for the cannon rack. So originally I was just going to have another brick and then have this piece that's going to have the kind of cannon flap connected to it like this. Kind of just hanging loose underneath the brick. And what I found, it was just really, really weak. So what I decided to do was just have 2 layers of plate here. And since there is a layer of yellow plate here on the bottom, it all does even out, making it completely even with that brick, so I won't have to go another stud above and have 2 awkward plate levels. I will just have to have 1. So I'm actually really, really pleased with the height difference here. Let me quickly kind of put this cannon flap on for you. I really, really like how that cannon flap looks there. It looks absolutely fantastic. The Dauntless, of course, is going to have a lot more cannons than the Interceptor here. Interceptor is actually only going to have 3 cannon slots, and then it's also going to have this railing piece here, and then another kind of smaller back section there, as it is a kind of smaller and lighter vessel. So now I'm going to get the other side of this kind of on there. I'm also going to start the work on the Dauntless cannon racks, and then we'll probably do it for this week. It's about time I check in with you. I actually built a lot. I built for about 3 to 4 hours straight, and I really just wanted to accomplish the entirety of both sides of these builds. So both of them are basically complete. Unfortunately, this one is missing kind of these like brown slope parts here. I used them kind of fully on this side. So unfortunately, that's not going to be the right color. As of right now, I also have to switch this up to match the kind of sides there. I'm actually really, really pleased with how all this stuff looks. I'm just going to take off these plates here just so you guys can see the kind of detail that I'm using here. Using this plating technique so that all these giant plates and other stuff that's going to go on top of these can be easily removed. You guys can tell I actually have all of the cannon flaps on the Interceptor. This, of course, is a 6 cannon ship on the bottom level. So I got that into it. I'm definitely going to have to make one modification to this because I do want to add a sort of ladder system in the back like it is in the movie. One thing I also want to do with both of these boats is have the ability to have a rowboat probably on the back of it, because I do believe that is pretty canon accurate. And I've also played a lot of Sea of Thieves in the past, and that's just kind of something I found a lot on smaller vessels, that they have the one rowboat in the back. But yeah, guys, I'm really, really impressed with the work I did on this. Definitely, there's still a lot of work that's ahead of me in terms of the design. My next portion for week number 2 for the Interceptor and the Dauntless is going to be this back section here. I definitely got to get this squared away. But overall, I'm very pleased with where we're at on this. I think it's looking great so far. I cannot wait to continue on the Interceptor. This ship does look like a baby ship compared to the Dauntless, as it's supposed to. But here's the Dauntless, guys. It has 6 cannons on each of the bottom levels, which is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love how that looks. I didn't get to attach them yet on the other side, but here's just what it looks like without it. And you guys are probably wondering why I didn't continue the back section. That is because I'm going to be angling the back section like the Black Pearl so that I can be able to access all sides of the interior and have windows on the sides to make it look just that much more detailed. And like I said, guys, this takes a lot of time to get the kind of leveling right and the color scheme right. It's definitely a very interesting color scheme to work with. Like I said before, I had to make some sacrifices here, but once I get those new parts in, that'll be fine. But yeah, guys, like I said, the Dauntless is looking absolutely fantastic. Expect week number 2 coming out pretty soon for both of these. I might start separating them a little bit just so the videos aren't as long as this one, because this one's probably going to be very long. But yeah, guys, you guys can tell one of the major things I'm really going to be careful about is making sure that the Dauntless looks a lot more bigger and impressive than the Interceptor, and making sure that the backs are not blocky. That is one thing I definitely need to fix on the Black Pearl over there, is making it kind of more of a smoothed off surface and, you know, at angles and stuff like that. So that is my goal, guys. Hopefully I'll be able to finish these mocks relatively soon here on my YouTube channel. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the future update videos for these mocks, and I will see you guys on the next one.